Okay, all righty. Okay, and here we go.
Great.
Um, okay, waiting for it to set it up. Um, okay, does it say streaming yet?
I see recording. I don't see streaming.
Um, okay, oh, okay, I think I see it in a little corner up here where it says it. Okay. Um, okay, I'm trying to do the Instagram at the same time. Um, this is why I don't say, oh, it's gonna start at 7 o'clock. I learned really quickly that never works.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always technical difficulties.
Please. Okay, I promise we're almost there.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm over here playing with my curls, making faces.
No problem. Um, okay, all right. And I'm pressing the button. Why isn't it?
Mhm. And just said you're starting a live video.
Yeah, it's live on Instagram right now, and it is live on Facebook. I'm just trying to set up the tripod so I'm not holding the phone in my hand.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's hearing all the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, and I think okay.
Are we ready?
Sure, I just dropped the phone.
Oh no.
Okay, yes, yes, yes. Yes, we are. Okay. Yes, we are set up. Okay. So you'd like to introduce yourself?
Alrighty, great. So, hey everyone, I am Faye Fiercely. There's gonna be a lot of ums because I am extremely nervous, and I hate but bear with me, everyone. Um, so yes, my name is Faye Fiercely. I am the owner of the Bespoken Magic here on Facebook. I have also and TikTok. I have also just reached out to TikTok today. There I do tarot readings, pendulum readings, palm readings, rune readings, just about any type of reading. I also do spells if you feel so inclined to message me and ask me about a spell. I just don't have them on my site. Yeah, so that's a little tidbit about me. I'm going to get back into that a little bit later on, but a little bit about my spirituality. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and I know that's kind of extremely weird, like two polar opposites: a Jehovah's Witness and then a witch. But I never really felt like that was where I was supposed to be. I never really felt like that was home. I never really felt like that was like I said, where I wanted to be. So I was always trying to find, even from a young age, from like 7, I was always trying to find a way out. I was always trying to find, like, can we not go to the hall today? Which they call their churches is called the hall, the Kingdom Hall. So I was always trying to find a way out to not go. Eventually, and it only happened after the fact that I turned 13, which I was able to say, okay, hey, I don't really want to go anymore. I'm not going. Despite what you have to say, I'm not going. So that was that. I stopped going. And around the same time, I started finding witchcraft. And I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. But I didn't find it for the reasons that you would think I found it for, which is, yeah. I found it for love reasons. I was putting spells on a couple unsuspecting people. I laugh at it now because I didn't know what I was doing back then. And of course, none of it was going to work anyway because I was putting in the wrong intent. But now, I want to say 10 years, at least 10 plus years, I've been studying, practicing, here and there. I've dibbled and dabbled. I've stopped for about 2 years on and off. But now I'm a full-fledged witch. That's exactly what you can call me. I've recently told my mom I came out the closet and she accepted me, which is great, yeah. Just Jehovah's Witness religion, it was just really stifling, you know? I had went to a few different religions, and I actually also am a writer for a magazine called Healing Within, where I also have wrote a little bit more in depth about this whole situation. Yeah, so I went to a different congregations, at first I started going to different congregations. I stayed within the Jehovah's Witness family. I stayed with them for a minute and I just tried to go to different congregations, tried to see where I fit. I never fit. So I was like, okay, since I don't fit here, maybe it's just not this religion. That's when that's when I made my exit and I went to find another religion. I went to a few different religions before I fell upon witchcraft for good, which I wouldn't even say I fell upon it for good. No, I'm on the phone. I wouldn't even say that I found witchcraft by happen, like it kind of happened by happenstance. Like it's always been, I feel like it's always been part of me. I've always been attracted to the occult. I've always been attracted to magic and all these other different things. And now that I'm an adult and I have the ability to say what I want in a religion, now I do what I want going forward. I don't I pick and choose what I want. And that's kind of what I love about witchcraft. You can pick and take and choose the little pieces that you want to fit, which is kind of what I do. I haven't worshipped a god. And recently I've been excuse me for the noise in the background. I've been having a calling towards Persephone. She's the maiden of the underworld. Hades dragged her down there, and now this is kind of why we have winter, because her mom she gets angry. Her mom Persephone is spring, and her mom gets angry, And she says, to hell with it, I'm going to make the land barren. And when she does this, this is when we get winter. But Persephone, I've been feeling a calling towards her, and I'm kind of feeling torn because I don't want to worship a god, but at the same time, like I'm feeling this calling, so I don't really know what to do. But I've been reading about her. I've been learning a little bit more about her and about her journey and who she is and about how to worship her. I still don't think I'm going to go full-fledged, but I do dibble and dabble where I dibble and dabble. Creativity is like one of my all-time, like, and that's kind of what I integrated it into my business, because for so long I would do a lot of different things with my hands. I crochet, I I do so much. I crochet, I make waist beads, I make earrings, I make so much that sometimes like I overwhelm myself. But I just love making things with my hands. I love being creative. I love doing. And for me, being creative, doing things with my hands, it gives me such a joy. It gives me so much passion. And for me, it's not about really the end goal. It's about how I feel while I'm making it. It's about like just the fact that I'm able to make something with my two hands. That's awesome. And then I can see it at the end. I don't really mind whether or not it's being used by someone, but if it's being used, that's just such an even greater feeling. I do want to in the future start offering different things, like different crocheted things, different little spelled bags or spell bottles, for on my website or on my page. But right now I don't think I'm there yet. I literally just started the page in December, and we're already at, I think, 368 followers, which is pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. Right now I've been doing a lot of tarot reading, primarily tarot reading. And that's because that's where everybody is asking for. That's what everybody's looking for. So I'm going to give the people what they want. But I enjoy pendulum reading. I honestly, I enjoy a lot of it. Divination is really where I find my passion right now. Honestly, what dragged me in the beginning, in the very, very, very beginning of my whole witchcraft journey, it was the stars. I always found the stars to be so amazing, so awesome. And then as I was growing up, I learned, oh, okay, there's something called astrology. So I started looking into that, and then when I got really heavy and really deep into my whole studies and everything, I was like, oh shit, excuse me, I don't know if I can curse, but I was like, oh my God, I cannot, like, it's damn near college level work to bust out the astrology. So I kind of took a step back because I was trying to learn a bunch of different things all at once. And when I do that to myself, I overwhelm my brain, and then I'm not able to take any information in, which is why I wasn't good at school. Just give me one subject, don't give me all of them at once. So yeah. But I was able to find my own path within witchcraft. And for me, like I said, I love divination. Anything to do with divination, which would encompass tarot, rune readings, like kind of all of that. All of those things that I do are divination. There are some that I don't do, like tea leaf reading. I can't do that, and I won't do that. Yeah, no, that's not for me. Um, yeah, I feel like if, and honestly, I want to shuffle right now. I want a deck in my hands, and it's good. That's kind of weird, but it is who I am. I love having a deck in my hands. I love shuffling. It like I said, I like working with my hands, and this is kind of why I like to do tarot readings, because it allows me to work with my hands and still and help people, which is what I've been finding a lot of people ask for. A lot of love readings is what I get for the most part. So I've been thinking about transitioning my business model from possible and going maybe just full on love. I don't know. I'm not sure. But like I said, I want to incorporate some type of creativity into my own practice, into not my practice, into my business. I want to, not right now, of course, because like I said, I literally just started in December, but sometime in the near future, I would love to incorporate maybe selling earrings or selling something that I crochet, because I love to crochet, but I just like don't know what anyone wants. Like, would you want a scarf from me? Like, that's really like, and crocheting is pretty freaking hard, especially like to make patterns and to make clothes. Oh my lord, it's so hard. Um, is there a question?
Hi. Yes, so you mentioned runes.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned runes. For some people who may be watching who are not familiar with them, could you explain them and why you don't work with runes? I mean, I myself have a lot of other questions for you, but that's like my first one. And thank you for your transparency. I'm just, hearing you declare who you are. You don't often hear just people come out and saying, I am a witch. So, congratulations and kudos on that. But
Yeah.
if you could explain
Um,
rune. Mhm.
explain what runes are. So,
Yes.
um, there's actually two different types of runes. You have Ogham runes, which are based off of trees, and then you have Celtic runes, which are based off of the Celtic mythology. I use the Ogham rune. Ogham. I want to say Ogham. Anyway, I use the Ogham runes, and I do use them. It's just that I don't have a lot of people that want me to read with runes or with pendulums. I get a lot of tarot readings. That's mainly what I've been getting. I don't really get anything else, but I want to do a lot more. If you have any more questions, I'm glad to take any more. She said that it's amazing that I'm proclaiming that I'm a witch. I would love to get like a huge tattoo, like like big as hell, like of something, just of something. I don't know, possibly of the trick of something. I don't know how to say that either, but that's that. Damn it! No, it won't. There we go. Yeah, so that I want to get that tatted really big on my shoulder for the world to know, okay, that is a witch. Yes, if you're gonna put me on the stake and burn me, it's clear as day. That's who you're burning. Um, But yeah, I love divination of all types. I would never do tea leaf readings. The reason why I would never do tea leaf readings is because I don't know how. I don't know how, and I feel like that would be a whole nother, like, possibly 5-year journey of me learning how to read tea leaves. And I don't want to do that. I'm happy with what I know. And honestly, I'm still learning tarot. I've learned that tarot is a never-ending journey. I'm going to be learning tarot for the rest of my life. But I want to take a step back from tarot when I get a chance to go delve back into astrology. That's kind of where my heart is. My heart is still set on astrology. One of these days I'll go back and I'll want to get in depth with it. I'm trying to think. There was one more C. It was creativity.
Oh, and self-care. Self-care.
Yes. Thank you. Do you have any more questions? Did you pop
No, I'm just listening to you right now.
Alrighty, cool. Self-care. For me, self-care is a very, very important thing for me. And what I've learned is that you can't really skip on those self-care days. Those self-care days are everything. And there was a good chunk of time where I completely stopped doing anything, any type of self-care. And my hair got all brittle and it was breaking. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but it's like growing now and it's pretty healthy now. I take care of it. I do a lot for my hair now. I used to just let it do what it wanted to do. I love my curls. Look at them. I'm sorry. Yeah. So self-care for me, it's, and I've incorporated my spiritual practice into my self-care routine. And the way I've done that is when I have a whole, like, the whole day routine, and I literally make it my spa day. And I'll do my head from my head to my toes, whether it's my nails, my feet, my hands, everything. I do everything. And towards the ending of the night, I'll do a little meditation session where I'm basically doing shadow work. And I'm trying to figure out what triggers me, trying to figure out what bothers me and why it bothers me, and how I can better help it. Because I'm not going to ultimately, I'm not going to fix it overnight. I'm not going to change anything overnight, but it will happen slowly. So for me, like, little things, like if somebody cuts me off or somebody does something really, like, you looked at me and you just let the elevator door close in my face. Yeah, that triggers me. And for me, I don't know why it triggers me so much, because I know I'm that same person that will close the door in your face. So it's like, why are you so triggered if you're the same person, if you're the same way? I have to figure out why I'm so triggered. And that's those little things that I do towards the ending of my self-care routine. And for me, that it makes so much of a difference from when I used to just take a quick bath and do my hair and that would be it, or from when I used to just literally take a bath, do my nails, and that was it. It's more now. It feels like I'm actually taking care of the me that is me. I'm actually wanting to take that time, take that anywho, self-care is very needed. And it doesn't matter what or how you do it, but even just 5 minutes, 10 minutes to take it to yourself. It's so much. And we often forget that 5 to 10 minutes can do so much, but it can. And for me, I hate living in the silence. I hate the silence. And I myself am learning to live in it, learning to like it, and learning to enjoy it. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I read something earlier that said, the reason why you don't like to live in your head or live in the silence is because you're living in your head now. Now you're hearing all those intrusive thoughts that you don't want to hear. Now you're hearing all those thoughts, and it's easier to be entertained and push them to the back. Which, when I was going through my breakup, which honestly, I literally just broke up with my ex on December 1st. December 1st, you guys, the same day that I started my whole business, I broke up with my ex. And honestly, I was trying to be so preoccupied watching everything, watching this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. And I've noticed that I haven't had the time to really listen and hear myself, to really listen and hear what my head has to say, what's going on in there. And so recently, I've been trying to really hone in and just figure out what and where I want to go. Hey, Tammy Collins.
Hey, hey, hi. Yes, I love this self-care discussion because it's absolutely so important. So thank you for sharing.
Yes, it is. It's one of the most important things that anybody really can, because we forget about ourselves so often. We're so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we forget how important self is, how important. Without worrying about self, how can you keep going? Like we so often forget just that little thing. How can you keep going if you forget self? So, like, even just taking like 10 minutes to walk in the park, doing anything that makes you happy can be considered self-care. Literally anything that makes you happy, as long as you're doing it for you and you're not doing it to make anyone else happy, that can be considered your self-care. That's your 5 to 10 minutes to yourself. That's your hour to yourself. You want to go on brunch by yourself, go on brunch by yourself. Go ahead and have 5 bottomless mimosas. You know what I mean?
But did you grow up in an environment where self-care was prioritized, or were you shown self-care?
Oh no. 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 I was grown up. I grew up in, so I had my grandmother and my great grandmother, and I kind of had to take care of the two of them because they were kind of sick. They were old, and my 3 siblings. So there wasn't really too much self-care going on. It was more so nurturing. It was trying to make better. It was trying to fix, trying to heal. It was a lot of healing going on in the house. Wasn't really self-care. You can say healing is self-caring, but I wouldn't say they were doing it for themselves. They weren't doing it for or to themselves, being that I was the one that was caring for them a lot of the times. My great grandmother, excuse me, I believe she was 90 when she passed, or 98 when she passed. She was around about 90 something. And she was just old. She didn't really have too many problems, but my grandmother had a lot of problems. And I found myself taking care of my grandmother like a lot. And my mom also took care of my grandmother a lot. She'll probably be mad at me for saying that, but it is what it is. For me, I learned, it was something I learned. It was something I had to, over time, grow to enjoy and grow to love. I never really liked to sit there in the bathtub. What? I used to sit in the bathtub for like 10 minutes. I would go through the whole thing of getting the bubbles just to be in there for 10 minutes and be like, okay, that's it, we're getting out. And then take a shower. Like, for what? Why did you go through all of that? I never liked to do any of that because I always felt like I'm supposed to be doing something to help someone else. That's kind of how I'm still like that to this day. I always.
So,
Mhm.
so you mentioned nurturing, so you're nurturing someone else, but not really prioritizing yourself.
Exactly. So I'm still a lot like that, and I'm learning. I am learning. It's all a journey. It's all a journey. Excuse me. But that's honestly, when I got into the relationship that I just left, I used to have my own self-care routine, which I still wasn't taking care of my hair. I wasn't taking care of my hair, but I still had a routine. I still had a nice, decent routine. And when I met this guy, little parts of the routine started falling off until there was no routine left at all. And now, and it was only one day out of the whole week that I would do this routine. So every Sunday self spa day, every week, never fails. But the second he came into my life, every like little bit started to fall off until there was no more spa day. So now I try, even with my schedule being as packed as it is, there's days where I'll be outside on Sunday and I'll still come home sometimes 10 o'clock and I'll still try and rush my spa day, despite the fact that I know I have to wake up at like freaking 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll still rush the spa day, do what I can, which is normally just my face mask and my hair. This week I didn't get to do it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's been out all week and probably not going to get to do it until Sunday. But that's fine. It is what it is. I got to do my face mask and I did my nails. So that's that. But I did take that couple of minutes for myself. Honestly, I want to say maybe 10 minutes a day now for myself to sit there and meditate, to write, pick my card of the day, pick my oracle card of the day, meditate on them, and then go ahead about my business, go ahead about my day. I love being able to, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I hate rushing. If I have somewhere to go, I hate rushing. I hate rushing, try to hurry up and get there. I'd like to leisurely take my time and get to where I gotta go. But within that, you have to know what you're doing and know how you want to get there. So for me, right, I normally will make sure whatever it is that I'm doing, wherever it is I'm going, I know exactly how to get there before we got there. That way I can take that time early in the morning for myself. I'm not giving that little time to nobody. That early morning time, that's my time. I need that time. Just to woosah, okay, we know what we're doing this morning. All right, let's go. I can't. Yes, and I would, like I said, I love creativity. I hate it because sometimes I find myself, quote unquote, stealing other people's ideas. I just want to do it. I just want to do art. And my ex, he would get mad at me because I would say, he would ask me, what type of art you want to do? And I would say, I just want to do art. I just want to art. Well, what does that mean? I want to do any and all types of art. I don't care if it's painting. I don't care if it's crocheting. I don't care if it's body art and you're painting on my legs. You're muted.
Yeah, so I have a question. I know when we were talking before, I mentioned how women who when I used to bend and people say, "Oh, I wish I could create," and I was like, "But you're a woman, you know, you have the
Mhm.
capacity to create the greatest thing in the world." So, what are some things that you would say to women who say, "I'm not creative," and where do you think that comes from? The idea that we're not creative, because I feel like everybody has some creativity.
Yeah. Um, I feel like that idea of I'm not creative, I'm not, I that happens when as we get older, because I myself have literally fell into that trap of, oh, I'm not creative. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. And slowly I had to, but wait a minute. Hold up. Wait, I'm a whole writer. Like, I've created entire stories out of the top of my head. And I have the nerves to sit here and say I'm not creative. No, it's because I'm focusing on my day to day, that I don't have that time to sit there and say, how can I be creative? Honestly, creativity comes from your imagination. And our imagination is so often it dies because we're so busy being adults. We're so busy living life that we can't really imagine what life would be like if we didn't have to get up and go to work. That's the only thing we're imagining, really, is what life would be like if we didn't have to go to work. We don't have time to imagine anything else other than work, not going to work, which it sucks as an existing as a society. It sucks. I personally, I'll be very honest. I don't want to work. I'm trying my absolute very hardest to build my business up from the ground up and get at least 4 to 5 clients so I don't have to freaking work. Why? Because I don't want to work for somebody else. You're going to turn around. I get sick, something happened to the job, and then that's it. I don't work no more. I've seen it happen to my father. I've seen it happen to my mother. I've seen it happen to me. And this is long before COVID, all of this has happened. So I'd rather work for myself and make sure I know it's coming in as long as I got up and I did that work, I know what's coming in. And if I didn't get up and I didn't go do that work, I know it ain't coming in because I didn't do nothing. But for me, I've even had jobs where they've skimped me on money on my checks. And I've come home screaming at my mom, oh, they did this, they did that. And then by the end of the night, I'm like, whatever, they could have it, they could keep it. Because because I'm sitting here blowing up my blood pressure, getting mad, getting angry, getting upset. But for what? That the little $60, they wasn't gonna give it back to me, no matter how angry I got, no matter how upset I got. It still wasn't gonna come back to me. I still worked for it, but I wasn't gonna get it. So what was I angry for? Just let it go. So that's why I personally don't want to work for nobody unless it's working for myself. If I know, okay, my worth is this XYZ, you're supposed to be paying me XYZ, then that's what I'll be doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to give you more than what you're paying.
Thank
Oh no,
you. Thank,
water.
thank you for sharing that. Thank you again for the transparency. I just kind of want to backtrack again. You being raised in the environment you were raised in and then doing what you do now. Yes, can we please talk about that? I I read somewhere of a lady who was, I don't know if they call it excommunication or whatever, but like her family like abandoned her or whatever. And I
Mm.
thought that was really terrible. So how Did you go from how you were raised to the practices that you're doing now? And what has been your family's reaction? Like, what's your relationship with your family?
Um, so I don't have a too big of a relationship with my, how do you call that, my extended family. I only really have a big, what's the word? I only really communicate with my close family, my sisters, my siblings, and my mom. My mom, when I told her, I was so afraid that she wasn't gonna accept me. But the reason why I feel like I evaded the shunning, I've seen so many people be shunned. Even my cousin got shunned from his own mom. Like I watched it with my own two eyes. It was the worst thing. But I I think I evaded it because I never got baptized. I when they would ask me about baptism, which you have to go through studying with with a sister and then a whole bunch of other stuff. Every time it came to it, I would always study for about a year, not even. And then I would leave. I would always leave because, like I said, I never felt like that was home. I never felt like that was where I wanted to be. I always knew that there was something else out there. I don't know what it was, but there was something else out there for me. There was another home that was calling me.
And you felt that as a child, you had questions.
Yes, so many questions, so many questions. I would ask, like my main one still to this day is, if God, if there's a God, why didn't he undo what's going on now? Like basically when Satan and Adam and Eve and all that happened, why didn't you undo that? Why didn't you redo? Because you're God. You have a redo button. You have a redo button. You have a reset button. You have an undo button. You have all these different buttons, but you chose not to press any of them and just let it rock. And then now as an adult, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. This is a whole family bicker, like a whole family argument, and us little humans are just like caught in the crossfire of this big family argument between two sons and his father. Like, what? I truly don't want to be part of this, you know? Um, like just certain, why does he allow people to feel hurt and pain? Why there's so many people that are starving? All of these different questions that I had that were never properly answered, they made it easier for me to never get baptized. They made it easier for me to find my way right up the hell on about the door. Um, honestly, as a kid, like I remember being so uncomfortable. There was like 2 or 3 times where I got in trouble, and the elders are always men, and that was another one of my questions. Why can't I be an elder? Why can't I be an elder? If I studied and I do all of this and I work my ass off, why can't I be seen just as great as one of these men? No, you can't. You could be. I never wanted to hear the answer, so I can't even tell you what the answer is. The second they said no, I literally closed down because it's sexist, and I'm not here for the sexistness. Yeah, I'm not here for it. It doesn't make sense to me. If you were willing to put and impregnate some random lady, then why can't I come up on the podium and give a talk just like this man does? Why? Because I don't have something between my legs? That doesn't make any sense to me. So had to excuse myself. But like I said, I remember there was a few times where the elders brought me in the room, and like they're men. So for me to have two men that aren't my freaking father talking to me about sex, that's just so weird. you don't understand the confusion and the uncomfortableness that was going through everything in me. I see your face. You want a question?
Yeah, why would they talk with you about sex?
So I had got in trouble because I was having sex, and they were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. How old is the guy? How many times?" All of these questions, and I'm like, "Hold on, this is really uncomfortable. Like, I don't like this." But I couldn't tell anybody because the same people that I would go tell also look up to these same people who were talking to me about sex. So it's like, who do I tell? Oh, nobody. Just keep it to myself, ignore it, and go about my day, you know? Um, yeah, and I did find sex at a young age. I was about 13, which I get it. I was wrong for that, but you're not gonna put two random men in my face. Like, what the hell? Um, but that's also why I never got baptized. I was always running the streets. I was always doing something. They said, "Oh, come knock on the doors and do the preaching work and do the service work with us." I said, "Oh my God, no, my friends is gonna see me." I got so scared. And I actually did knock on one of my friends' doors that day, one of them days, and I had to run. I had to go run behind the brother. I don't remember what I did, but I ran and I hid. I hid for dear life. What? Because I already knew I was gonna hear it when I got back to school the next day. Oh, she came knocking on my door at 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to hear all that. Um, but yeah, I definitely was never getting baptized. I know that. I knew that then, and I know that now. My mom, sometimes she'll try and preach to me occasionally, and I'll tell her, "You preach to me, I'm gonna start preaching to you about my witchcraft." So she'll think twice, and she'll always, "All right, I'm not preaching to you." Or I have I get really funny, and I'll be like, "Oh ma, you part of that gang?" She was like, "What gang?" "J Dub." and and she's like, "You're a heathen. You're a heathen." I'm like, "No, I'm not no heathen. I tell the truth. I'm not here. I'm not going to the toll. I'm not going to nothing. So therefore, I'm not a heathen." She's like, "Yeah, you're right. You're an apostate." Okay, now that's right. I'm an apostate. And it's like this running joke, but I'm glad my mom accepts me. I'm so glad. The rest of them can't say the same thing about them, which is why I want to get that tattoo, just so I can rub it in their face. "This is the reason why you don't like me? Well, here, look at it." um, yeah. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that experience. And yeah, I could imagine that's uncomfortable. That's why I was wondering, like, weren't there any women who would be talking with you as well, and why just the men? I'm not really familiar with their system, but that's interesting that it's only the men
Yeah,
who can have positions of leadership.
yeah, yeah. I hated it. I hated it. Literally, only the men, and it's very few women, and they don't even have actual leadership or actual like power in. It's their husbands who have the actual leadership, which it sucks. It sucks. Totally, totally.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. So, so when you decided to leave Jehovah's Witness, it was just your mother, but as you mentioned, your other families just doesn't really deal with you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, they don't really deal with me. No. I try to talk to my aunt occasionally, but she's a second generation Jehovah Witness. I was supposed to be a fourth generation. And yeah, that wasn't working out. Mm-mm. Yeah. So my aunt, being that she's a second generation, she's kind of really deeply ingrained in it. And she's not going nowhere. She's not taking no witch, nothing, no, none of that. And the second she heard it, she's like, oh, yeah, you're not coming in my house. My mom is also like that. She won't let me in her house, but we talk. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. And she won't come to my house either. But that's fine because I have a huge ass altar, like literally right behind me. So I can't have her be coming in my house. She's gonna be like, oh my God, what's that? But yeah, me and her, we're getting there. Eventually I'll make my way to her house, whether she likes it or not.
So, so it kind of makes me wonder, were there people, do you think that there might have been people in your Jehovah's Witness family or congregation who might have had the same gifts that you had, the same like abilities that you had, but they can't do anything about it or say anything about it because of the environment?
Mm. Um, I've honestly never even thought about it. I have thought about my family, like my ancestors and the people that came before the first generation of Jehovah Witnesses. Because I strongly feel like me having that feeling, it had to have came from somewhere. This didn't come from a book. This didn't come out of the sky. This came from somewhere. There was some feeling in my family. There was something going on. I feel it, but I'm too scared to do that nasty ass. I'm not spitting in no little tube and sending it off to no white man to, no, no, no. What he gonna do with that tube? I don't know. If he tell me exactly, if I could watch the tube the whole way, okay, I'll do it. But I believe my family is part Cherokee Indian, but my cousin, she did ancestry thing and she said we're African. So I honestly have no idea what we are. I know I'm Black and that don't crack, so I'm good with that. um yeah.
Yeah, it just always makes me wonder, there are people sitting there like, I have these dreams that come true, or I have these experiences where I see things other people don't see, or I hear things other people don't hear, or I can hear people's thoughts, but they can't say anything
Mm,
because of because of the stigma.
yeah. I don't know. I know I as I'm thinking about it now, I remember hearing my great grandmother say something along the lines of, I had a dream about fish or something like that, and somebody pregnant. So I feel like her mom, she might have known somebody in our family was, because how else would she have gotten that? And honestly, that's where all the old wives' tales come from. The old wives' tales aren't just old wives' tales, they come from other witches that were passed down through generations. And then that's how we ended up naming them old wives' tales instead of old witches' tales. It sounds better for the people, should I say.
Okay, so I definitely want to ask you, coming from those roots as a Jehovah's Witness, like, was there a definitive moment where you realized I am a solitary witch? Like this is my path. Like, what was that moment?
Um, I don't think there ever was a moment. I just always felt like I never belonged. I always knew I never belonged from very young. I always felt like this isn't it. This isn't where I want to be. And then um so I guess when I would say 13, when I made that first love spell to try and get that man. um I guess that's when I fell into my solidary witch practice. Um yeah, shortly after that, I started like learning about, like, I delved pretty fucking heavy, excuse my language again, into the love spells and a lot really heavy into it. And so that's when I learned, okay, so the love spell that I sent out for that man, that wasn't gonna work. And so after that, I kind of fell off because I actually had gotten pregnant, had 2 babies, and then shortly after the 2 kids, I had came back into the whole world and made my way through and found like I said, I had found astrology. Astrology had always been a big part, but after I had tried and attempted, I left so that I could go do learning the tarot, and I've pretty much mastered it very, very well. And that's why I say I love doing it, and it's kind of where my passion is. I wanna be a certified tarot reader, but I don't even know if that is a thing. That's literally what I want to do. I want to tarot read for the people. I want to read, like, that's literally my goal. I want a few clients that I read. I want to be a spiritual advisor. Honestly, that would be awesome for me. I also do crystal healings, where I come to your home and I cleanse your chakras, and I also leave you with a bottle of my homemade Florida water. Like I said, I make everything by hand. Everything I do, everything I have, it's all by hand. Yeah.
Where are you located now?
So right now I'm in Manhattan. But I primarily do my things when I come. So for the crystal healings, I come to your home because I also have room healings that I do. So I'll cleanse the room and then I'll leave you Florida water for the room as well. But for the most part, I'm online. So you can find me at TikTok at Faye_the Bespoken Magic, or on Facebook at the Bespoken Magic.
Mhm. Were you a Bronx resident? A Bronx one resident?
Yes, I was. I'm actually from Edenwald Project.
I'm not far. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss Edenwald. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I love Seton Falls Park. I love it.
Yes. Like, oh my God, you don't understand the memories. Oh, Susan Woods.
And Mr. Winkle, and yeah.
Yes, Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah, I always find it to be a kind of magical park. I really like it.
Yes, I thought it was just me. I was one of those people that would walk and try to find Mr. Wiggles. Cause bro, if you've been living here for that long, he gotta be a witch. He gotta be a warlock. I want your knowledge, sir. Come on, give me your knowledge.
Someone did a film about him. In one of these Edenwald groups, someone actually did a short film about him.
Oh, really?
Hmm?
That's cool. I gotta go look for that.
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting. So, okay, so what are some of the other things you do? So you said, okay, you don't do runes, but you mentioned palm. And what are
Hmm.
some of the other things?
No, I do runes. I do palm readings. I do pendulum readings. Of course, tarot. I don't do tea leaves. Yeah, the tea leaves I don't do. I also at request, I do spells and spell jars, spell bags, because I have these little crochet bags that I make, and I can put little spell ingredients in those and tie them off as well. Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, the question just went right out of my head.
I also offer like different crocheted items like scarves and hats and things of that nature, which is really weird and out of category, but
Oh, okay, I know what I was going to ask. Can you give a quick rundown of tarot, and what are some of your favorite decks?
Oh my God. Okay, I have to go get my favorite deck. I have to. I'm sorry. I can't talk about it without having it.
No problem, and I'll just do this commercial. So for everyone watching, thank you. I'm Abhinav from Holistic Healing, and this is Transformation Thursday, which happens every Thursday around 7:15, something around that time. And it's a holistic series that focuses on topics that are healing and related to wellness and emotional healing. And it's here every Thursday. If there's a topic that you would like to know about, please reach out to me and we can find a speaker and offer a Thursday session on these topics, because we like these to be educational so people can watch and learn something. And on March 25th, I do have an event coming up and I will speak on that later, but it will be in the Bronx.
Oh, awesome. Is it it's a in-person event, right?
Oh yes, it's in person.
Oh yay, I'm gonna be coming. Yes, okay, so rundown about tarot. There are 78 cards. The first 22 cards are the major arcana. The major arcana is the uh most important cards of the deck. Well, not most important, but they are telling the most important part of your life. So whenever I pull a major arcana card, then that is symbolizing, oh no, you're not gonna, oh, yay. That's mostly symbolizing a very important or prominent time in your life. A lot of different, there's 4 different suits. You have the wands, which correlates to fire and fire energy. You have the swords, which correlates to air and air signs. You have the cups, which correlates to the water sign. And then you have the pentacles, which is the earth sign. The major arcana does not fall upon any signs. Like they don't automatically fall upon any signs. They are not fixed. What else? What else? What else?
Yes, I took a tarot class years ago and like I never got it.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to make a tarot course now. I'm trying. I'm really trying because it's taking a bit of real brain power to get it. I'm trying to make sure I put the symbolism and exactly what the cards mean, and it's a lot. But my favorite deck, I have to. I only have the little one, but it's called the Wellens Classical Tarot, and I have to find the card that made me get the deck, because this is like I said, my favorite deck of all time. It's kind of like a storytelling deck. They evoke almost like I said, they read like a story, almost like a kid's storybook, and it reminds me of something that you would read when you're a kid. Like the freaking magician card just looks so, come on. Oh wait, let me just take off the blur. The magician card is so awesome. Like, what? Yeah, so I love this deck. Everything about it. This is the card that made me get it, the Hermit card. You can almost see and feel the wind in the card. Like, I freaking love this deck. Everything about it. And I try not to use this deck on anyone else other than myself. So this deck stays at home because it's such like my favorite. Yeah, but once I finish my tarot course, I'll be most definitely will be letting you know, and hopefully you can be one of the first to try my tarot course.
Now, but you can read with not just tarot cards, I mean like other kinds of cards, like you know, like
Oracle deck?
uh yeah, like I saw the other day like flower essence card or like
Yeah.
essential oil cards or affirmation kind of
Mm-hmm.
cards.
Yeah. I have those as well too. I have I have three Oracle decks, and one of them is dedicated strictly to love readings. Yeah, so I've been trying to grow my Oracle deck collection. I'm not there yet though. Yeah.
I saw online there's a store in Westchester that has a big selection of
Oh
cards.
really?
I have different cards. They're still in the packaging, but but I did come across a store online in Lower Westchester, and it seems that they have a nice variety of them.
Well, that's some type of that's a self-care thing you could do for yourself in the morning. Crack one of them decks open
Hmm.
and read a card for yourself in the morning. A quick 5-10 minutes. That's all you need. You don't need to have a whole hour. You can do it real quick. Look at the card, see what the card means, and then see how it's, and then as you're going about your day, think about the card. Oh shoot, this happened, and this is correlating to what the card said. Oh my God, that's crazy. And then when you go home towards the ending of the night, you could write all of that down. Like, and then you can look back on it like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like these cards are real. Like I can read the cards. That's amazing.
So I did kind of have one question. What what would you say for someone who's probably on the same path as you were, who was questioning and find themselves being drawn to something that not everyone else is doing?
Mm.
What, yeah, what words would you have for them?
Um, I would say step out, break out. Ain't the longer you stay doing something that somebody or is trying to be someone else, the longer you're not gonna feel happy, the longer you're gonna feel and not be your true self. What's the point? What's the point?
Hmm. Hmm.
I told some guy like 2 days ago, the reason why we're here is to be happy and die. We're not here to work and die. What?
Hmm.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not here to
Hmm.
work and die. I'm here to be happy and then
Hmm.
die. And so you
Hmm.
don't want to sit there and try to be somebody else, try to act like somebody else. Be you.
Hmm.
Break out, do what you want to do, sis.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. As you can see that there's definitely a whole wave of consciousness that's just kind of sweeping through the universe right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a big, I guess they call it the big shift. And I think it's like
Mhm.
a wave.
Yeah, I heard it. And I feel like a lot of us are going through this change because Jesus was never real. We are Jesus. We're coming to that higher point, that higher realm. Jesus is a mindset,
The
and
the
we're all
Christ,
coming to that mindset.
right, the Christ consciousness.
Coming. Christ is coming.
Hmm.
Christ is came now because we're all reaching that Christ-like mindset.
Yeah, they call the Christ can't speak
Consciousness.
consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like, honestly, I truly don't. I believe in God, but I don't, like I said, I don't worship because I feel like God is a really tricky son of a gun. He's a really tricky son of a gun. And when dealing with God, I feel like you got to be really careful. Really careful. So I choose not to. I choose not to. You got to be careful with what you say, be careful with what you do. I'd rather just, like I said, be happy and die. That's all I can do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Do you have
Welcome.
any other words that you want to share with us? This has been really great, and I definitely look forward to when you are finished with the tarot course.
Yes, I will be letting you know. Yeah, I wanna I'm gonna be getting into it now that I know somebody's looking for it,
Mhm.
forward to it. No, I don't have anything else to say. If anyone would have like any tarot readings, you can either message me, Faye Fiercely, on Facebook, or you can message the Bespoken Magic. Honestly, if you want anything witchy related, you can message me. I can even give you a little bit of my knowledge if that's what you want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so do you have any upcoming classes or anything else coming up?
No, I am going to be doing a sale for Valentine's Day though. I will be doing a package sale for Valentine's Day. Yeah, so I would say look forward to that. That will be on my page as well. I just haven't yet finished the ad for it yet.
Mm, okay. And that's the Bespoken Magic on Facebook. And what's the other one on Instagram?
No, on TikTok. Faye underscore the Bespoken Magic
The
on
Bes-
TikTok.
okay, Faye underscore the Bespoken Magic on TikTok.
Yes.
Okay, awesome,
Yes,
fantastic.
and if you guys ever need any crochet items, because I do make awesome, really awesome scarves, and I know the trend of infinity scarves has passed, but I used to make those as well. I have two huge ones in my closet that I just don't wear anymore. But yeah, oh, you can't really wear them anyway. It's gotten so warm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And someone said when the seasons have been throwing out temperatures like Powerball numbers. Um, oh, so Lucy, hi Lucy. Okay, how can I open this chat? She has a question. Oh, if you don't deal with God, but you know it's true, can you explain what is powering you as a goddess, especially when doing tarot? Is it your higher self or ancestors working through you, or both?
um, I would say it's a combination of both, but it's mostly my higher self. Me delving into me and who I am as a person. That's more so what guides me as my goddess self. Yeah. I've recently been getting more in tune with my ancestor. That's a real recent, very, very recent thing. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question, Lou.
Mm, okay, I love that question.
Yeah, it was
Thank
a really good one. I was
thank
like,
you.
really, that was a real like mind scratcher there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely, for real. Okay. Well, I want to thank you. I really appreciate this. And it's funny how you said you were so shy and didn't feel like you knew what to say, and you were fine. Absolutely fine. And
That's great.
yeah, I really appreciate you being here and sharing. And to
Thank you.
hear more voices, people just sharing their truth. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For everyone, this has been Transformation Thursday this week, 117, I believe. So I really appreciate everyone who's been hanging in there for these past, 117 weeks. Thank you. And again, on March 25th, in the Bronx is the Her Story Reclaiming Our Power and Healing event. And you can find the event flyer on my Facebook page and on Instagram. For full details for the event, please go to Eventbrite. Just search for the event on Eventbrite. But it is Saturday, March 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you're interested in offering a service or being a vendor in our marketplace or participating in any way, please let me know. And yeah, Miss Faye, I think we'll talk.
All righty, great.
Okay, thank you, everyone, and have a what's there another comment here? Once, yeah, once, yes, 117. Yes, I'm always amazed, like, I found, at least even 20 people who are willing to speak on a Thursday. So I'm grateful for each and every person who has been a
Yeah,
speaker.
that
Um,
is amazing. 117 people to talk. Wow.
yeah, like wow. But it's great because now people know who you are, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, so people have made connections and people have learned from people taking their courses and things like that. So I'm very grateful to just be able to expand the awareness.
Yeah, that's awesome. My Instagram page, it's conceited underscore chronicles.
I think you might
I'm
have to
very
write that one in there.
yeah. Hold on.
I think you have to type that one there.
I'm gonna put it in the oh shit, yeah.
Oh,
She got it. Hey, Lucy. There you go.
yes, Lucy. Yes, yes, Conceited Chronicles on Instagram. Awesome. Okay. All right, Miss
Well, it was
Lucy.
a pleasure talking with you guys. It was a pleasure speaking. I am so grateful for this opportunity, for this platform, Bina. It was very much appreciated. I am so humbly grateful for this. I can't even explain.
You are most welcome, most welcome. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching. I will tune in next Thursday around 7:15, 7:20. Uh, I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a
Bye.
great evening.